And now we're going to do our first mod, and that is some Pitbull Swingarm spools. These are the same Swingarm spools I put on all my bikes. Good high quality pieces, and I like these because they're Delrin plastic, which means when you use the Swingarm spool, it will not actually cause scratches and stuff. So they'll continue to look new and nice, unlike the aluminum ones, which over time will look like crap. So I don't know how this bike went the first 8 years of its life without Swingarm spools, but we're going to put some on. So anyway, it's pretty simple. Take the spacer off, take this, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of this Loctite on it so it doesn't vibrate off. Should be good. That's actually a lot of Loctite. I probably shouldn't use that much. Anyway, put that in like this. Spacer. It's just this simple. You just kind of screw it on.
I might have to chop off that tail. The stand keeps hitting it. Now time to replace that old head stem nut. Yeah, that's horrible looking. I was able to source a used one off eBay for like $10. I'd say it was well worth it. Also, it came with the washer, which the old one didn't have. So I guess it's a good thing that I did replace it after all. Now it's time to tighten it down with a really big socket. Don't worry, I'll torque it to spec before we do the first ride. Okay, that's much better looking. Now it's time to see what's under that gas tank. I want to see the condition of the air filter and check to see if there's any oil inside the air box that might have happened from the crash. I swear this electric ratchet is the best tool I've ever bought. And no, this is not sponsored, I just really like the tool. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys are interested.
Oh, there's the air filter up in there. It actually looks pretty good though. Here's our throttle bodies. It's gonna be hard to get to all this stuff down there.
I guess this is a good opportunity for me to give a shout out to my gold level patrons. Thank you for supporting the series. Amateur Mike, Mark Slidlow, Charles Raymond Young, Gordon Black, Trace Young, Josh Moore, Roos Squid, Stevensk, Jurgen, Ahmed, Carl Pullman, and Josh Rains. Thank you guys for everything. There's a ton of stuff that needs to come off. The more stuff I remove now, the easier it will be later when I'm removing the plugs. I think I finally have good enough access to get to one of the spark plugs. I'm going to pull the plug and compare it to a new one. Don't worry, there'll be a better clip in a few minutes properly showing you guys how to remove ZX14R spark plugs very easily.
Alright, I went ahead and I zip tied this thing away from here, so now I have a lot better access to this area. Here's the plug. Okay, so here is a look at the new versus the old. As you can see, the old one does not look that bad. I actually probably could have left it a little bit longer, but there's a little bit of carbon on it, and I mean, I'm down here, I got the plugs, I'm gonna replace them anyway. Gotta use one of these spark plug wrenches, and I'm gonna just push it down in, just like that, and then I'm gonna thread it by hand. I got a little bit of a bite right here, so I'm gonna go as far as I can by hand, and then I'll put a wrench on it and go about a half a turn. Okay, so that's about as tight as I can get it by hand. Go ahead and put this on. That's it. Just crush that crush washer and that's pretty much it. Here's what the rest of them look like. This is one dirty engine. But anyway, yep, so I gotta get to the rest of them, and I'm gonna do that off camera though, because those are not gonna be fun.
Yeah, you guys already know I'm doing a pair delete. Also, it looks like I need to remove the radiator anyway to replace it, so I might as well do it now to give me better access to those spark plugs and pair system.
Ugh, look at that. Ugh. So this is pretty much just the pair system. Basically what you could do if you want to delete a pair is basically do exactly what I just did there and just cap off these right here. But I got some block off plates coming because, as you can see, capping this off still has this bump out, but if you do block off plates, that's all gone and it will be a nice flat solution. But to kind of show you guys, and I still have the other end on, I was able to just slip it off, make it a little bit easier. But here you can see, this is all the room we've gained from doing that. And as you can see, that makes it much easier to get to plugs, to get to pretty much anything in there. So yeah, that's why I did it. All right, so to do a spark plug job on this bike, once you get down to this point, All you need is these tools right here. I'm using a 1/2-inch drive, and I'll show you that in a second why. Here's the spark plug socket. It's a 16 millimeter. And then I got this extension, 3/8 extension. It's about, I don't know, 3 inches long. So it'll go like this. And then I have this adapter. And the reason why I'm using this adapter is because it's like the perfect extra length to the top of this will clear the entire spark plug hole. So look like that. It's basically your extension is like this. If you can somehow get this exact size with one extension, then go for it. But it's just to warn you, it's really difficult to get this all as one piece. I have to actually break it apart. If you have a bunch of little extensions, it's better than one big extension. And of course, I'm going to use a magnet, which will be used to kind of fish the spark plug out, because oftentimes this little socket won't hold it.
Spark plugs can be intimidating, I know, but it's actually pretty easy. First, remove the connector and then remove the stick coil. It can be a bit tricky sometimes. I find spinning the coil while applying upward pressure usually breaks them loose. Once the coil is out and out of the way, take the spark plug socket and drop it into the hole. Next, put the 3-inch extension into the hole and attach it to the plug socket by firmly pressing down. After that, I use the 3/8 to 1/2-inch adapter and press down on that. And finally, I attach the 1/2-inch ratchet onto it and I loosen it. Once you feel the plug is fully loosened, remove the 1/2-inch ratchet. Then remove the adapter. Now remove the extension. And finally use a magnet on a stick to fish out the plug socket and the spark plug. Now that the spark plug is out, I replace it with a new one and I slip the plug and plug socket down into the spark plug hole. Next, I attach the 3-inch extension, then the adapter. You may notice that I am already starting to thread the plug in by hand. This is important. You never want to cross-thread a spark plug. Always go by hand first for as many turns as possible. Once you have it hand tight, attach the ratchet and give it a few good turns. A torque wrench is always recommended, but I've done enough of these to know when to stop. You're going to fish all the parts out again, same way as you did before. Now reattach the stick coil, making sure you firmly press down as far as you can to make sure it's making a good seal. Now attach the connector and you are all done. It's really that easy. Anyway guys, that's it for part 4. Thank you all so much for watching.